Hi, this is TJ King from Over the Wire. I am here to give you a tutorial on WinSCP. And WinSCP is actually an iPhone companion. Basically, it helps you to be able to look into the contents of your iPhone and pull files, and also input files. And if you're using something like iSilo, it's very helpful. Let's get started. A couple things we do need before we start. You obviously do need a router if you're going to use Wi-Fi to connect. There's different forms of Wi-Fi you can use. You can actually turn your own iPhone to Wi-Fi hotspot and tap in. That's actually what I'm going to do because my Wi-Fi hotspot is too far. I assume that my signal is not strong enough or something's wrong with the network card that's built into the iPhone. So I'm using a program called MyWi coupled with its sister program My3G, which allows me to use the data network continuously without any breaks because AT&T does limit your data. All right. Now, I connect with USB, but you can connect wirelessly if you're using your router. You do need to know the IP address of your iPhone. Okay? It doesn't matter so much your router because you're connected to the router, but you do need to know the IP address of your iPhone. I repeat that. Okay? Another thing you're going to need is a tool called Toggle SSH. I forget what the SSH stands for, but it does allow you to, this is what allows the WinSCP program actually to work. There's different forms of Toggle SSH. You can use different types of applications, but that one needs to be downloaded onto your iPhone in order for it to work. Okay. Now, I am using a program, an OS, excuse me, I should say the OS 2003 server to tap into it, and I'm going to first pull up my iPhone. Okay. I think the tethering's on. I'm going to make sure everything's kosher. One moment here. No, it's not unplugged. All right. So make sure. So you should be able to see everything that I'm doing on mine. All right. Here we go. Oop. All right. Gotta love the beauty of the net. All right. You lock them. Over here. Okay. Just gonna pause things just for a bit here. Yeah, I would have problems on it. Connect. There we go. That's the problem. Parallel desktops is a little bit unpredictable. Okay, let's just hit repair. Enter need the IP address. All right. Okay, notice that the IP address changed here. Everything's good. All right. Now that that's doing its thing, I'm going to use VNC Viewer, or Real VNC. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's also a very good remote desktop tool. All right. Now this is just going to show the contents of the iPhone. You're going to see me operating my iPhone by hand, not by mouse, because it gets complicated. But I will point to things with the mouse, okay? All right. As we get started, again, remember you got to have that IP address handle. You got to have WinSCP, and you have to have Toggle SSH, and you got to be connected to a router. Those things have to take place. Those 4 steps, okay? WinSCP. You do need also if you go to the to Google search, you can just put in WinSCP in, and I think it's just WinSCP.net is the actual website. Just go to download and download the first package that's on there to say installation package. You know, and it's just basically for Windows. That's why I couldn't get it on the Macintosh, but I am doing this particular shoot in Macintosh, so that way you can see what's going on my desktop. All right, now that that's taken care of, and we're on there, we're going to pull up the WinSCP tool. Okay. All right. Now, do not change any of the settings. I had to change some of mine because of my connection is a little funky. It's not like yours. You're probably 192.168.1.5 or 1 or whatever. Okay, so it's probably different for you than it is for me. Alright, now I'm just going to show you what mine looks like. Don't change the username at all. It always has to stay root. Unless you're an advanced user, you can make the necessary changes. You shouldn't have to use a private key if you're tunneling in through your private network. More than likely, you're secure, so you don't have to do anything like that. Port stays the same. Leave it alone. Password, you can make it what you want it. Okay, all right. I'm going to go ahead and log into mine. This is what it looks like. This is a very simple tutorial on how to use it. Not very complicated. Just to let you know, it looks just like this. On the left side, this is your computer. On the right side, this is your iPhone. Simple notes. Don't try to search for something manually. You want to do it with an automatic one. This is how you search for stuff. But before we do that, let's go up. You want to make sure you find the right directory. Now, always go up one. You see these right here. It says private and then the slash, and you got var. You want to stay in var. This is as far as you want to go. And you want to go to the lowercase mobile. And don't go to mobile device, because that's actually Apple's folder. You want to go into the third-party folder. Mind you, you do have to have a jailbroken or unlocked iPhone, which the terminology is interchangeable. They use that, but they both mean the same thing, okay? Anyway, with that said, go into there and you go into applications, and then you go to search. You can search for the program that you're looking for. Like, I use iSilo. That's probably the last thing was on there, so I would hit start and it would find it, but it takes a couple minutes to be patient on it, and that's basically how you use WinSCP. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to send a message to me via my YouTube page. But I did leave it up on there. I also leave the links to the WinSCP, which that's the file that has to be on your computer, as you already see. And the program, if you are having problems with your network card, like I am, that's built into my iPhone, then you may have to use MyWi, because MyWi allows you to convert your iPhone into a router, pretty much. That's what it does. So, and I will put a tutorial on that one, on how to use it. It's very fun, very easy, very fun to have too. But just to let you know too, if you are having trouble finding your IP address, here's another thing you can do. Okay, you can go to settings. In the settings pane, you're going to go to general. Right after that, I'll pull up here in a second. Go to general. Now mine is going to show my TGT mobile. You can also just go straight to Wi-Fi. Matter of fact, it's probably the fastest way. Just go to Wi-Fi. It's going to pull up. That's my network. You see that little blue, that little white arrow that's inside that blue circle? Click on that. The first one that says IP address, that's the IP address of your iPhone. Okay. All right. That will be the end of this tutorial. My name is TJ. Thank you for watching.